Welcome everyone. I am so excited to be coming on live to you today and getting to share some of my heart. I am just getting set up real quick, so it'll be just a quick moment. All right. Can everyone see me? Hi everyone, welcome. As you're jumping on, would love for you to just say hello. Let me know where you are from and what are you doing in your business. So what kind of business are you running and where are you from? I would love to welcome you as you all come on live. My name is Julianne Kade and I am in Seattle, Washington. I've been here for about 4 years. Welcome, welcome. Hi, everyone. Please do just come on, state where you are from, and let me know a little bit about you. I would love to welcome you, and I would like to be able to see the comments so I know who you are. I live in Seattle, Washington, and today I want to talk to you about spiritual mindset. You may see I'm a little bit nervous. I haven't done very many lives, but very excited to be here. So today we're going to talk about spiritual mindset, the pleasure of giving and receiving. And I want to share with you today some great, huge takeaways that I have had in my life over this past year. I come from the corporate world. I was a top leader in marketing and sales in my division and in the region that I managed. I learned a lot about people. I learned a lot about understanding the psychology behind sales. And then I also learned a lot about myself in that business. Hello, Garcia. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Laredo, Texas. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the live. um, and so we got Texas. Jennifer, where are you from? Welcome live. Welcome to the live. We're getting all spiritual in here. I came to Seattle about 4 years ago. I came here as a single mom with three small children. I'd just gone through a painful divorce and I was homeless. I packed my babies up in my SUV and started a new life here. That is where my grit and grace and me being able to find who I truly was in my own identity stemmed from. I was able to get into an amazing job in the corporate world. And as I was sharing, I was a top leader in sales and marketing for the division and region that I was in charge of. And it's taught a lot for me about my own self, about people, and also the spirituality that is really important component for me as I've gone on my journey for healing. I experienced a place of complete brokenness. I experienced a place where I would become successful and I would hold that success for a short period of time. And then I would not be able to hold that success. And I kept finding myself playing this back and forth game with my money. I kept finding myself playing this game of being successful and then starting back at point A again. Being successful, starting back at point A again. And I realized in my corporate career where some of those triggers were for me. And as I was growing in my own spiritual life and as I began training new sales and marketing leaders for the industry, I realized that it's a weakness that a lot of people or individuals with the gift of light, the gift of healing, the intuitive, the empaths, those of us that have that sensitive energy, it's one of our struggles when it comes to money and it comes to our business because we have such a big heart for serving the people in our communities that we aren't able to hold on to our own wealth and we're not able to take care of ourselves the way that we need to because we give, 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 give. Today I'm going to talk to you about to give is to receive. And this is a big lesson that I learned in my life because when you give, It opens up the door for you to be open to receive back what you are giving. You must give, but you also must call in and receive. Otherwise, you are not able to fill yourself up from the emotional, financial, physical aspects of your life. And so, if you are constantly giving and you're not being poured back into and able to accept the money, able to accept living a good life, able to accept the blessings that come along with your giving, it creates an empty, tired, exhausted vessel. I am going to talk to you a little bit about the spiritual sense of taste. This was really huge for me when I started my journey to saying, okay, how am I going to open myself up to be able to receive, and that receiving gets to be pleasurable. Receiving gets to be something that is full of beauty, full of wisdom, and you don't have to give everything of yourself in order to receive. I know for me that I was always so afraid to accept people into my life that wanted to help me. I was so afraid to accept people into my environment that were good hearted, that had this amazing energy, that were spiritual. And I was afraid to accept them into my life and accept their help, because I always grew up in the environment that I was in, that to receive something meant that I was now owing somebody or something. And so I never could understand that I could receive pleasure, I could receive happiness, and there would be no strings attached. And I was always afraid of that receiving. And so as my life went on and there was pain and wounds and shame and guilt and things that went on in my life that I had to come to terms with, I began to really believe that I couldn't give and receive. And so I went to the complete opposite. I would give of my time, give of my energy, give of my wisdom, give of my skills, and then I would be the one left without. I would be the one completely anxious, completely depressed, completely afraid. And I wasn't living in joy. I wasn't living in happiness because I had given and hadn't had the beauty of receiving. One of my mantras that I love to do in the morning, because I always believe that as we step into our energy for our creativity, that it's really good to move your hips, to dance, to feel the joy, feel the pleasure. And one of the things I do is I give so that I may receive. I'm giving so that I may receive. I'm giving so that I may receive. And it's a beautiful mantra to do in your early mornings as you're getting started for your day, as you're getting ready to take care of clients, to do phone calls, to book out your calendar, to do Facebook Lives. It's something really beautiful, because now you're opening that doorway where you're able to say, I'm giving and I'm open to the gifts of receiving. I'm open to receiving what I am giving out to the world. And as much as I give to the world, I am going to receive in return. It is very hard for spiritual workers, for light workers, for psychics, intuitives, those of us that really run around or base our business around our gift and our calling as a healer, to know that it is okay to receive as much as you give. It is okay to be wealthy. It is okay to be successful. It is okay to hold that energy, that money. You make more money so you can give more. That is the beauty of those of us that have a good heart in our businesses. You want to make more money. You want to hold and receive and be able to be open in that way, because then you can open up that much more, 10 times, 100 times more, out to your communities, out to the people that you really care about, out to the charities that you give. Something that I have been calling on spiritual entrepreneurs to do this year is give so that you can receive, and receive so that you can give. So what I am doing this year is that all of my earnings in my coaching, I am giving 10% to charities. And these are the charities that mean and hold something very dear in my heart. There's so like birth centers that are in third world countries are really a big passion of mine, since I spent 3 months in the Philippines in a birth center. And another thing that's really important to me is different charities that help women coming out of abusive lifestyles and are starting over. And I like to give back to the community in that way, because I was that girl. I was that homeless girl with 3 small kids and did not know where to go. And so I want to give as I receive. So I'm really asking you, as a coach this year in your business, whatever it may be, maybe put down a certain amount of money or a number that you say, I'm going to give this back. I'm giving this to the things that really matter to me, so that I can stay open to receive the abundance and the wealth that is coming to me, but I will also give. The more money I make, the more ability I'm able to give and help and impact the world in front of me. When we have experienced deep trauma and deep pain, like for me, I experienced, I want to be careful. I don't want to cause any triggers without warning. So this is a trigger. It's around sexual abuse. So I just want to warn you guys. But I'm going to share a little bit of my story. When I experienced sexual abuse at a very young age, I began and realized that in order to receive love, it was almost like I needed to give myself in ways that hurt me. And I never was really open to understanding how to receive love without there being some sort of painful attachment to that love. And that came from my childhood, from the way I was raised, and then into my experiences as a young adult. And so I never knew how to accept love and how to accept my beauty and my grace and what I wanted to give to the world without allowing hurt and people to hurt me in order to give. And you get to receive pleasure. You get to have pleasure in receiving. And it doesn't have to be painful. You don't have to give the parts of yourself that you don't want to give. And a lot of people say, oh, you need to share your story and your message in order for people to connect with you and to understand who you are. Or you need to, if you're receiving, there's like this back part in your head where you're like, I feel kind of guilty for accepting this help. I feel kind of guilty for accepting this blessing. And ladies, I would love for you to just share with me right now. I love that the live number is 11 right now. I've been seeing 111 everywhere for the past like 2 weeks. So it's like goosebumps. You ladies that are on right now, oh my gosh, you are powerful. Like, your spirit and your energy is so powerful. If you wouldn't mind, please drop in the comments what has kind of held you back as far as giving and receiving. What's an area that you're like, yeah, I resonate with that, or yeah, that's something I'm struggling with when it comes to pricing my packages, or that's something I'm struggling with when it comes to asking for the help I need in my business because I don't know how to do it. Like, what is it that you ladies are feeling kind of held back in your business because that dynamic of giving and receiving is kind of struggling? I would love for you to drop it in the comments. Oh, thank you, Garcia. I feel you. I connect with you. I've had those experiences. Very beautiful. Thank you for coming forward and sharing that. I really appreciate that. And I know it's not easy. It's taken me a very long time to even come out and speak and share my story. But the beauty is that You can have pleasure in receiving sexually. You can have pleasure in receiving financially. You can have pleasure in receiving someone's time, taking up space. It is okay. It's time that we let go of the guilt of receiving pleasure. And something that really helped me in my healing journey was I got very curious about sensuality, the feminine energy. Really curious because I've always, I kind of operate in my masculine energy more so than my feminine. And so, because I operated in that way, because it was a way for me to hold back and escape from being hurt, I had shut off this very beautiful side of me, which was this feminine, outgiving, sensual woman. And I was so afraid to let that side show for fear that it would cause me pain. And I realized as I went on my own healing journey that you can release pains, wounds, shame, guilt around that sexuality, around your finances, around taking up space, around asking for help. And you can really tune into this beautiful place of saying, I am open to give as I am to receive. And to give is to receive. And it is such a powerful statement. I would love every one of you on here right now to please write to give is to receive in the comments. I want to hear it as unison. To give is to receive. I want you to own it. I want you to feel it. And then you receive it with gratitude. Receive the gifts and the financial blessings and the business that you are growing with gratitude. That gratitude from deep within, that gratitude of joy, the pleasure of experiencing your passion being birthed to the world, your new birth, your story coming out to the world in this beautiful diamond, this package that has gone through the fire. And embrace those parts of you that are painful. Embrace those parts of you that you don't want to let the world see. It's okay. Those pains and those scars are your journey, and those pains and those scars are your story, and those pains and those scars make you relatable. It is your power. Your power has been brought up inside of you and has been nourished inside of you from that pain. So it's no longer seeing the pain as a prison. It's no longer letting your life be your prison cell, but it is going to the other side and saying, my life and my pain has created my freedom. And in that freedom, I get to be wealthy. In my freedom, I get to be successful. In my freedom, I get to build an empire. And in my freedom, I get to awaken the spiritual healing and my intuition and my guidance from within. I no longer have to look at other people to get an opinion about what I need to do. I no longer have to ask for permission to do what I need to do. Garcia, there's a reason why I'm here now listening to you. I had a narcissist mother, narcissist parents, create actors or actresses. So I'm always trying to please everyone. And at the end of the day, I don't do things for me besides other issues. Yes, Garcia, you are here for a reason. Every single woman is here for a reason for this message. And I'm so excited. I will, if you ever want to PM me or send me a message, feel free. My inbox is always open. I'm somebody who is very open in that way. I would love to chat with you a little bit more. I'm feeling you right now. You don't have to give over your pleasure in order to receive either. So sometimes we believe, like I said, that receiving is going to hurt us. You don't have to give over your pleasure in order to receive what you need in life and what is going to bring joy and happiness and peace to you. I like to talk a little bit about the spiritual sense of taste. The spiritual sense of taste has been a really huge place for me when I started my growth. There's 5 spiritual senses that run parallel with our physical senses. So we have the spiritual sense of hearing, the spiritual sense of seeing, The spiritual sense of hearing is identifying or understanding your intuition. The spiritual sense of seeing is to see or discern certain things that are happening, past, present, future. You have the spiritual taste. This enables you to spiritually taste or feel or know your desires for life. You have the spiritual sense of smell. This creates like the fragrance. So, like if you like to do like an altar, or you like to diffuse essential oils, or there's certain candles. For me, like I'm a water sign, so I absolutely love taking my bubble baths and my Epsom salt baths. And so there's certain smells that I really relate to, and they kind of bring about that sense of calm. So that's kind of your spiritual sense of smell. And then your spiritual sense of touch, able to feel and discern energy. So you can feel the vibes. Or you hear somebody who says, "Oh, that person really left a bad taste in my mouth." Like that's the spiritual sense of taste, right? It's like the feeling or the attraction. So it kind of touches with touching and tasting. But touching is able to discern that energy and understand if it's good or bad. But I want to talk a little bit about the spiritual sense of taste, because the spiritual sense of taste is the core to awakening your intuition. And so your intuition to discern good or evil as well, this spiritual sense of taste. And when it comes to discerning good or evil, it opens up in your relationships, in business decisions, in places you want to go. It's really kind of that intuitive guidance around good or bad for you. And it also is the awakening of you being able to hear your intuition. And sometimes when we are so stressed out and we are so afraid of, our anxiety gets to us, right? And so all of a sudden we hear that small little whisper of intuition. It's the intuition, our intuition speaks to us once. And then if we don't adhere to it, it's gone. And all of a sudden, all of the loud voices are all of a sudden up in our head. Are you sure about that? I don't know. Did you really think this through? Is this, let me think. I'm not sure if you should be doing that. And all of a sudden, our brain, the part that's trying to keep us safe in life, has overridden our intuition at that point. So now we no longer hear what our intuition, our inner guide was telling us, because we didn't act on that first sense of intuition. And so sometimes we have become so distanced from our intuition that we don't quite hear our intuition any longer. So when you begin to open and develop that sense of taste, the spiritual sense of taste again, and the way you do that is through meditation and self affirmations. Soak in the words. Soak in the words. And what I mean by that is let the words taste like honey to your ears. Let the words taste like juicy pears. Let the words taste like a beautiful fresh bite of a pear from the tree. And let those meditations soak into you in that way, and begin to enliven that spiritual sense of taste, so that you can begin to open back up to your intuition that is trying to come through and guide you in your life. And the way you know that you've really begun to develop that spiritual sense of taste is through realizing that after you've done a meditation, or after you have done your affirmations, there's like this satisfied, like there's this fulfilled well inside of your belly. Like you can feel the pleasure of satisfaction. Like, that felt so good. I feel so satisfied. That filled my hunger, my desire. It grew me to my creative sphere. I remember when I was really struggling, and I was like, I don't have any creativity left in me. Like, what am I doing? And Spirit was like, you need to get back in tune with your intuition. I was like, well, how do I do that? And it was get still, get quiet, start meditating again. Because I always hated to meditate, and it was always something that I kind of like pushed away. I was like, I don't want to do that. I'm too busy. And it was like, no, get still. Begin to feel and taste the words of the affirmation. They talk about taste your dream, or you want it so as badly as you want to breathe. That's when you'll become successful. And it's like you wonder what these terms actually mean. And if you go to the spiritual sense of them, being able to taste them, hear them, touch them, smell them, the scent of your success. Like, it's a spiritual world that we as intuitives and psychics and healers and lovers of creation have. And it's so beautiful to kind of dive a little bit deeper under the surface and understand what that means and how to develop those in you. I would love to hear in the comments what spiritual sense or have you been working on out of the spiritual sense of hearing, the spiritual sense of seeing, the spiritual sense of taste, the spiritual sense of smell, or the spiritual sense of touching. I would love to hear what you have been working on, or you're curious to start diving into and learning more about when it comes to your spiritual senses and your business. Last but not least, and then I have to go. I want you for the next 3 days, when you do your meditation, and my free gift to you is I'm going to be sending you a beautiful meditation that you'll be able to go through. And then I also will be inviting you to a beautiful container that is currently being poured into, that I will be opening the doors to very soon. It will be a free container filled with lots of really great messages like this, and a place for you all to kind of come together and have this community and this place of really awakening that feminine within you. So if you want to be added, you're going to drop a comment below. If you want my free gift, you'll drop a comment below, and I'll be getting those sent out to you this evening. But over the next 3 days, as you meditate, I want you to list what you have tasted during your meditation. I have tasted goodness. I have tasted kindness. I have tasted self-awareness. I have tasted love. I have tasted strength. I have tasted inner wisdom. I have tasted the healing of my inner child. And I want you to list those descriptions out as you are on your journey for the next 3 days. I want you to become aware of your spiritual senses. And I would love for you to send me a message, like say, hey, guess what? I've been doing this and this is what's going on. Like, it's been amazing. Or this came up for me. Like, I have a question. Like, I am here to love on you. I'm here to support. I am here to grow. And I am here to be on your side. That is my calling. That is my gift. And so I really appreciate this time. Thank you, Mom Carol, Jen, Garcia, and everyone else who has joined live. I really appreciate you for coming on and going live. I will also be doing one more special gift. I am going to put all of the names in a basket, and whichever name is drawn is going to get 2 30-minute calls with me for free to work through some of the things that have been coming up in your life around spiritual business, around your own spiritual workings, around things that have just been coming up. So I'm going to be offering that to whoever watches this live to the end and wants to get in on it. So you'll just put a comment in the message saying, enter me for the free calls. And then I will be drawing those names Monday morning. And Monday morning I will come, I will let you know where I'm at. I will come on live and I will let you know who's the winner of those 2 30-minute free calls with me. And I just wish you all love, light, blessings. Have a blessed, wonderful rest of your Saturday, and I will see you all soon. Bye.